One last thing before we get to super chats. I know we want to get out of here quickly because it's really late, and I know Salisa wants to get to bed too, but I can't get out of here. We have to do a little bit of a victory lap, guys. We have to do a little bit of a victory. I know, pat ourselves on the back. We'll break our spine. But I am telling you right now, this podcast went to war with multiple people with way more clout than us about how Sean O'Brien was an op, how he was a scumbag piece of shit, how he was a Republican, how people had reached out to me that, were familiar with the guy personally and was like, yo, he doesn't even like black people. Like, he's really like rude to be around when you're in that setting. Like, not good vibes from him. He wants to kick it on the golf course with guys like Josh Hawley, not guys like us. Okay. And I was like, damn, that's hella sus. And we had Bhaskar on the show, and I was trying to talk to him about it. And I was like, man, what the fuck is going on with Sean O'Brien? He hella gaslit me. He was like, no, dude, he's playing chess. You want him to play checkers. And I was like, oh, that sounds shitty. I don't agree with that. And then it moved on. So many people were like, no, Sean O'Brien, he knows that he knew that Trump was going to win. So he had to get in bed with him so that, he could really do good stuff for the Teamsters. And I was like, why the fuck would you do that? Donald Trump literally praised his honorary vice president, Elon Musk, for his ability to be ruthless and fire striking workers. Well, now the quiet part is coming out, guys. Now he's just saying it all. I was like, how could you possibly cuddle up with Josh Hawley, who supported right to work in Missouri? Well, let's hear it. Maybe it's because Sean O'Brien supports right to work.
There's been a lot of talk that if there is an issue with right to work, it should be done on a state level, not on a national level. And look, that's the beauty of having conversations with people from the other side, where you can collaborate and actually find out what works for that state, what doesn't work for it, but more importantly, what's going to work for the American worker. So
right to work is never going to work for the American worker. And on top of that, I believe it was Crystal Ball maybe pointed out, of the 10 poorest states in America are right to work. So it's not working out for them either. On top of all of that, guys, I saw this and I immediately reached out to my homie at the KC Labor Beacon. And I was like, what are people feeling about, Sean O'Brien? And he was like, Sean O'Brien's a fucking disaster. He cannot be the president of the America's largest, labor union. It's a fucking disgrace. People are appalled. And, this is basically another example of what happens when when unions, they're not properly represented, right? They get sold down the river. You have a lot of people who are in the Teamsters union that are, potentially, sympathetic to some of the culture war arguments that are made by Donald Trump, right? But they need to have a leader like Sean O'Brien to be like, we're not going to start running cover for something like right to work. That's an absolute disgrace. And I knew he was sus ever since people have tried to launder the reputation. Like, it pisses me off. Glenn used to do this all the time. He was, Sean O'Brien's working with JD Vance and Josh Hawley, and he knows the bipartisanship is real. And I'm like, no, dude, what he's doing is preparing to sell the workers down the fucking river.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, shout out to you, bro, for getting that one 100% right. Obviously, I was never amused by Sean O'Brien's strategy, but I will admit, I was willing to buy into it even more than you were. I was like, let's see where this goes. Maybe he's onto something. Maybe he's, maybe this is actually paying off. Who knows? But you were 100% right about this guy from the very beginning. So I'm super glad we had that on the record.
Yep. You know what? Sometimes I earn my place on this podcast. But anyway, wanted to make sure we dunked on Sean O'Brien, because I couldn't. I was like, are you fucking shitting me? I couldn't believe my ears. I was up for an extra 90 minutes last night after I saw this, because I was just like, my blood started flowing, my temple started throbbing. I couldn't fucking believe it.
Look out the door if you hear an ambulance. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there. Be there. The Vanguard will be there. Be there.